Hey guys, welcome to our channel. So, we've got an interesting one going here. Um, this is going to be part 3 of the Metallica Fade to Black extractions decode. And we've already got this, and you had 2 change to will and aren't changed to not. And those of you who are following along know this well. So 2 to will and 2 and will comes down in order. The N and the T and the N and the T cross off, and you're left with A-R-E-O. And we brought that down. A-R-E-O. 2 will A-R-E-O. And we already got it to go forwards and backwards in the stock market and finance. You know, and we've got this to go forwards and backwards in genetics with because I noticed this 2 willa REO, eyes only, read eyes only. 2 willa, read eyes only. And eyes only, as we said, is what they use to, if you got a classified document that only say one person's supposed to read, it'll say eyes only on the envelope, right? So 2 willa, read eyes only. And then you had a bunch of genetic stuff. And by the way, this Willa Thompson is in the Department of Human Genetics at the University of Miami. All right, 2 Willa, read eyes only, and you had genetics go through forwards and backwards, very specific targeted stuff. I'll probably provide the link in case some of you didn't see it. But now we went chemicals, and we were assuming that there'd be chemicals, and a lot of them would be related to pharmaceutical. Because I mean, this we think is actually a message to Willa Thorson, either from her, from another reality in a quantum computer, or on a quantum computer, or from somebody else. Either way, human genetics, right? So what could the chemicals end up being? Well, TO going forwards ends up being TO Chemical Company, and they deal in pharmaceuticals. Imagine that. Or your first hit is a pharmaceutical chemical company. So that ties right in there. Then you have W, which ends up being W Chemicals. And W Chemicals should be the last thing I got going on here. Raw material, it says paraffins, microcrystal waves, synthetic waxes, USP mineral oils, petrolate or Vaseline gel. And they got, so yeah, they do deal with some of that stuff. And that's there. And W by itself can always be a coincidence, but when you're going forwards and backwards, then it's probably irrelevant, right? When everything else is going. So ILLA ends up being ILLA International, worldwide leader in phenol technology. And if I'm not, reduction of the chemical. So this is search for fundamentally different chemical approach to see different process implementation. Now, I didn't research this a whole lot. Phenol process. Simplify the process of chemistry, totally prevent formation of phenol, tar, and yeah, so there's this whole thing, guys. I'll let you read about it, and so I don't spend all day on one thing. But that's ILLA International. Then you had REO, which ends up standing for Leo Logistics, or Rio Logistics. Excuse me. Real Logistics, experts in supply chains solutions. They solve logistical problems, helping customers in chemical, petroleum, biological, and consumer products industries achieve their goals. They're accredited. So yeah, it fits right in there. And they, if I'm not mistaken, they deal with labs and such. So, okay, you had Real Logistics, REO. RE is our friend rhenium on the periodic table of elements. We've had that before. W is tungsten, and it's on the periodic table of elements. I'm not sure what it all has to do with the medicine, but they're definitely in there. AR is argon, and it's on the periodic table of elements. LOREA, that's right, right? Or LAREO, my bad. Because I wrote it wrong at one point and corrected it. So LAREO ends up being Dr. Claudia Lareo, and she has a symposium on biotechnology. And I'll let you read all about that if you want to, but it's definitely connected up here to this other search. And it seems like it should be connected to this Willa Thorson, who this apparently seems to be for. So then you had AREO, which ends up being AREO is a division of ABC compounding, and they deal with chemicals. And that gets you through going forwards in chemicals. Coming back now, OE Chemical, OE stands for OE Chemicals Company, and they deal with labs and research. So there you go again. Connects right up there. OERA ends up standing for OERA LLC, Occupational Exposure Risk Assessor. So someone in the Department of Human Genetics, this was in her read eyes only message. Occupational exposure risk assessor. ER ends up being erbium on the periodic table of elements. We've had that before. ERA is a accredited provider of certified reference material for labs and stuff. So I'll let you read about that. LL ends up being liquid light. And this I found a little bit interesting. Liquid light, process technology to convert CO2 to major chemicals. And then I'm going to click on learn more. And that's probably the link I'm going to show you is learn more or provide, because our technology, liquid light's core technology, is centered on low energy catalytic electrochemistry to convert carbon dioxide to chemicals, combined with hydrogen and purification operations. By adjusting the design of our catalyst, our technology can produce a range of commercially important multi-carbon chemicals. So that's a little bit interesting. I'm not sure. I'm sure it ties in somehow, guys. I'm sure it does. It's not a coincidence. This was all, I'm sure, for Willa Thorson. And she would know more about this than I do. A lot of people might. This is all new to me. So that's LL, liquid light. LI ends up being or LLI ends up being University of Madison Department of Chemistry, and it's actually a person, Ling Jun Lee, Department of Chemistry, and her email address is lli@pharmacywise.edu. So there we have another pharmaceutical connection. She's affiliated with LI Group. They're a research group. I got that here as well. She's a professor. So that's an interesting find in there. And then also LI, which is the LI Research Group, and that's affiliated with Ling Jun Lee as well. And the LI Research in the LI group focuses on developing and applying electronic structure theories and AB intramolecular dynamics for studying properties and reactions in particular particle non-adiabatic reactions that take place in large systems such as polymers, bimolecules, and clusters. So the time-dependent many-body theory and quantum electronic dynamics. Schrödinger, the time-dependent Schrödinger and Dirac equations govern all non-equilibrium quantum mechanical processes of many electron. So yeah, this fits right in there, guys. System. I'll let you read all about it. Pretty interesting stuff. To a person in a human genetics department at Miami University. So, and by the way, we started going backwards at OE, if I didn't mention that. So now we were at LI, which was affiliated with Ling Jun Lee, the Department of Chemistry at UW, whatever that. I should have researched that, but this is a lot, guys. LIW ends up being LIW-LI chemical. It's a chemical. LI, it's a chemical. Here it is. Biological test results. So there's biological test results for this chemical for a person, for an MD in the Department of Human Genetics. Imagine that. So it's pretty much all ties together there. Then you've got IWO, which was a little bit disturbing because what came up when you typed that was IWO, Chemical Warfare Research at Iwo Jima. And there's a thing I'll provide on that. But yeah, chemical warfare. Human genetics, right? WOT ends up being phenolazium. And it is, and I'll provide another link. Anyway, it's used in pharmaceuticals as well. Wherever it may be. Yep. Right here, and then okay, drug products containing phenylalanine, which must be it's an inactive ingredient in a lot of drugs, pharmaceutical. Uses, side effects, interactions, dosage, warnings. So yeah, it's definitely pharmaceutical related, which is interesting. And OT ends up being orthotoluidine, and it is also a chemical. Not sure where it's at. And if I didn't mention it, I think I did. TO Chemical Company, I did. That was the first thing, but it says TP Group. But if you go up here, it says TO Group. So And this was the first one. I was going to read you a little bit about this. Over 3 decades, T Group working with the pharmaceutical industry. So they also work with the pharmaceutical industry. I was going to read that to you and I forgot. Orthotolidine. Maybe I forgot to bring this back up. I had lost all of my pages, guys. We'll bring it right back up. Orthotolidine, chemical agent. And during the production of dyes, pigments, and so yeah, right here, OT, orthotolidine, occupational exposure. Another occupational exposure to orthotolidine can occur by inhaling or skin contact during its production or during the production of dyes, pigments, and you can read about it. And that gets you through forwards and backwards, guys. Sorry it took so long, but that gets you forwards and backwards in chemicals. And from those same, 10 letters, we got it to go so far. Because we're not done, but we got it to go forwards and back. These 10 letters in Metallica Fade to Black so far have gone forwards and backwards in the stock market to get all this data. Those same 10 letters turned right back around and produced not only genetics, but also a name of somebody in a human genetics department, a doctor nonetheless, and some very targeted genetic stuff here, and some seemingly very targeted chemical stuff targeted to mostly the pharmaceutical company chemicals. So I think you got a lot of connection here, and we're not done with this one either because we haven't done random hits and we have not done the translations. Now, I don't know if the translations or random hits will provide anything good or not. They might, but I think it's possible that the important thing here was in the genetics to Willa. Read eyes only. Now, that's a lot of information for a human genetics person or a MD in human genetics. At the University of Miami. That is a lot of related stuff. And I'm sure that I'm missing stuff. We're missing stuff. I'm sure we are, because we could rearrange those letters in 100 different ways and probably come up with way more stuff, which is probably, the way it's intended. But I think forwards and backwards is just fine for now. And again, we'll do random hits or random search, and we will also do the translations to see if there's a more personal message here or something else in the translations. Now, we may find nothing in the next two searches. I mean, there may be nothing significant in the translations whatsoever. There may be nothing significant in the random search whatsoever. We don't know. This time it might have all been right here in the genetics and chemicals. That might be the whole tie. We don't know. That's why we say we never know. We don't know where these things are where our good information is going to come from. We don't know where our interesting information is going to come from, or our ties, I should say. We don't know where these ties are going to come from. They could come on the stock market, finance. They could come in, like they did here, genetics and chemicals, or they could come in the translations. They could come in random hits. We don't have any idea, guys. Right now, we think we got this pretty well nailed down. This particular change was to be read only by Willa Thorson, MD, Department of Human Genetics at the University of Miami, and this is mostly all these chemicals pretty much had to do with the pharmaceutical companies and I'll provide the links. And that's going to be it for now, guys. It's a 20-minute video. For now, thanks for all your thumbs up, thumbs down. Thanks for all your comments, leads, feedback, subscriptions, and your participation. To those of you who are doing your research, like Kirk J. Kirk or Kirk J. I can't remember right offhand, but yeah, we're interested to hear those results as well. And anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and we'll try to get through Metallica Fade to Black in the coming, well, maybe even today and tomorrow, and then we'll move on to another. And we'll see if any of these ties tie together, right? Like so far, guys, we've got 2 potential quantum computer users out of this, okay? We got Perry Stone Ministries from the Led Zeppelin one, and now it looks a whole lot like Willa Thorson um, possibly has access to a quantum computer, or was definitely supposed to get this message, and we weren't supposed to see it. Sorry, Willa. We didn't know when we started, but hopefully, if you watch this by some weird coincidence, we're not trying to. We're doing our own research, so this is just a part of the research. We're not targeting anybody in particular. We're just whatever the information says, right? Uh, Whatever we decode. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys, for watching for now. And for now, you guys have a great rest of your day.